I recently built this in my new Valheim Hardcore series, and a few people asked for a build tutorial, so here it is. If you'd like to see more build tutorials like this, then please do subscribe. The first thing you need to do is find a fairly flat area that is at least 11 units long by 13 units wide. You'll need extra space out the front if you want to do the diagonal stairs that you see here. You can then use your hoe to prepare your work area, but as this build is raised off the ground, it doesn't have to be perfectly flat. To get started, come to the corner where you want your front door to be and come in by 3 units. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. We're then going to place down a wooden wall here, just like this, and this will be where our front door will go in line with this. At this stage, you can delete the units if you place them down to measure. Now place down a wooden wall either side of the one you just placed, just like this. At this stage, get your wooden floor and make a 3x3 area going along here like this, and then back by 2, and then fill in the area. It'll then look like this, and you want to place down either 1 or 2 meter poles, whatever you need to reach the floor, so that you have these as foundational pieces, and they will of course then be shown in blue. So this block right here is where your front door is going to go, and the area we're stood on here will be the porch. At this stage, come behind your door and place 1 block down right behind it, and then 3 either side of that block. So 1, 2, and 3 here, and the same on this side over here. When that's done, be sure to place foundational blocks under each of the corners, just like you see here. Then to the side that is of the right of your door, come over here and place down 1 extra piece here and 1 extra piece here. So we got these 2 pieces like this, and again connect it up to the floor with a blue foundational piece. From this final piece that you've placed down here, we want to come off by another 6. So 1, 2, 3, and then place down another foundational piece underneath, and then another 3 over here, just like this, with a final foundational piece on this corner. At this stage, go to the side of the left of your door as you're looking at it and come to this piece here. You then want to place down 1, 2 floor pieces and a foundational piece underneath, followed by another 2 floor pieces and again a foundational underneath, and then finally another 3 pieces, 1, 2, and 3 like this, with a foundational piece underneath this corner. If you've done this correctly, then the entire length of this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units long. At this stage, you want to place down 1 piece here with the foundational bit right underneath it there, then 3 more floor pieces down here like this, and another foundational piece there, then 1, 2, foundational piece underneath, then 1, 2, 3, and another foundational piece underneath here, and 3 more to take you right up to the corner with the foundational piece in the corner. So it'll be just like this. At this stage, we just have to connect up this final bit. So we're going to go ahead and place 1, 2, and then place the foundational piece underneath this corner, and then another 2 floor pieces here to connect the whole thing up. At this stage, your build will look like this, and this is the rough framework for the rest of the build. You can then come to this bit that's right here on the corner, and we're going to connect it up along this way. So we're going to place 1, 2, then the foundational piece under it, and then another 2 pieces of floor here to connect it up to the other side. With that done, come in line with your front door and place down 1 floor piece here, followed by 2 foundational pieces, 1 under here and 1 under here. You then want to place down 2 more floor pieces and place down foundational pieces once again underneath. Then place down 2 more floor pieces and again put the foundational bits underneath each corner, just like this, and 1 final piece to connect it up to the other side. At this stage, you can go ahead and fill in this gap right here and this gap right here. At this stage, select the wood wall pieces here, and we're going to start building away from the door around the perimeter of this build. You want to do that until you come to this gap right here, and at this stage, rotate the wall and start coming with the wall along this way. With that done, you'll have a building that looks a bit like this. Now at this stage, you want to go ahead and place your big crosses underneath the build just like this. So this is these ones right here, the wood roof cross 45 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and do this at the front and also down the sides of the build, and also right the way along the back of the build too, and go right the way across the bit that you haven't built wall around too, and around the other side down here. You can even walk underneath the door right here and place them down in this little section underneath the porch. So when that's done, you'll have these crosses going all the way around the perimeter of the build. Now you'll notice that these bits stick up a little bit, and this isn't a problem when we place down the walls later on, because the walls cover them up and you don't have to interfere with them. However, it's for that reason that I haven't placed crosses down this bit of the build right here. This is the bit that connects the 2 rooms that you'll see later on. And the reason being is because then some of these things will be poking up in the middle of the inside of your build, which I personally wouldn't want. Now head to your porch and place down walls 1, 2, and 3 just like this, and again over on this side over here, 1, 2, and 3. You can, if you want to, put crosses along the porch just like this as well, connecting up like that, and also around this side too. Then go ahead and select the thatch roof 45 degrees and place down 1, 2, 3, just like that, and then 3 more underneath so they connect up to the floor. Make sure the 3 pieces on the floor are blue foundational pieces. You're then going to go around to the other side of the porch and do the exact same thing. With that done, you can go ahead and connect the roof pieces up by placing 1, 2, 3 here like this, and then 1, 2, 3 on the other side, and finally have the thatch roof ridge 45 degrees connecting them up in the middle. So you then have the roof structure for the porch, and it looks like this. At this stage, I personally like to use use the wood beams, and it will obviously need to be the 45-degree ones, and place them along the outside of this roof build because I think it looks nicer, but this is optional. And you can finish this off with one of the wood crosses right at the top, so it'll look like this. The next thing to do is, once again, using the thatch roof 45 degrees, come to the side of your build on the left-hand side as you're looking at it, and place down one here like this, and then one connecting it up to the floor. You want to do this the whole way down this side of the wall, and again, make sure that every piece that is touching the floor is a blue foundational piece. This is very important. If you have an area where it's not touching the floor, you can use your hoe at higher ground to try and raise the terrain up a bit so that it turns blue. Sometimes you may need to use rocks to do this and actually raise the ground, but often your hoe will be enough if the area is reasonably flat. Now heading inside and using the thatch roof once again, we're going to connect up the piece from this corner like this, and we'll place down two of these, one there and then one on top of it just there. At this stage, we can rotate this around and do the same over on the other corner, so one piece there and also one piece there. With that done, I'm just going to head outside to these two pieces we just placed and place one piece there and another piece here, again making sure this is a blue foundational piece. Now if you're doing this in survival mode, you'll then need to use a wood ladder or something similar to make some scaffolding so you can reach up to these higher bits of the roof. From here, with the thatch roof 45 degrees once again, we're going to place down one piece here and one piece over on the other side, and finally one of the thatch roof ridges up on top, connecting the whole thing up. So this is where we're going to start connecting up the foundational pieces we built below this to the roof of the rest of the build. So to know where to place these, from your front door, you'll see you got this one piece here and then the second piece, and then we place one there and one there. You then have two more build pieces and then one there and one there, and another two pieces, and you'll have one there and one there. If you want to check, you can always delete a piece of floor, and then underneath you'll see that it will connect up to the blue foundational pieces you placed earlier. At this stage, go ahead and add a second piece onto each one of these foundational pieces. Once again, if you're in survival mode, you'll now need to build up a bit of scaffolding to get up to the higher edges of these. But we're going to place down a third piece on top of each of these, so just like this. So now you have something that looks like this. At this stage, go back to the 45-degree thatch roof, and we're going to start placing them down along the sides here. So with one piece placed down, we're then going to start building higher. So we're going to go one here, and we're going to go one here. At this stage, go ahead and select the 2-meter wooden pole, and when we look up here, you'll see that it should connect between the roof and also this piece right here. And whereas that was red before, it's now gone down to orange, allowing us to complete the build. So then we want the 45-degree thatch roof ridge, and we're going to place that down here, and then we're going to place down another 2-meter pole on the other side, connecting up to that corner. So once again, that will then turn into an orangey red instead of dark red. Now with the 45-degree thatch roof selected again, we can go ahead and build up from the other side. We're then going to do the same thing all the way along. So over on this side, we're going to go ahead and just build it all the way up, and it's going to connect up to the pieces that we built on the outside. Over on the other side, where we will have the extra room later on, we're just going to place them all starting from these wood beams here. So what I mean by that is we're not connecting these up to the floor, they are starting at here. This one that we placed earlier connects up to the floor, and you can go ahead and connect the second one here up to the floor if you wish, but as soon as we get from here onwards, we're only going to build from this wall piece up, not down to the floor. So basically you just repeat this process until the roof is covering the entire part of this build. So then you'll have the roof covering the entire area, and this is from the back of the build. You can see how it looks. So the right hand side from where we're looking goes down to the floor, and the left hand side goes all the way down to this wall. Once again, we have another optional stage where you can place on these beams and the cross, just like we did over here on this roof, but you don't have to do this. This is entirely up to you. If you do it, it'll look like this, which I think is quite a nice look for that roof. Now it's time to fill in the floor over here. So we're going to go to this corner right here and place down a floor piece just there, and then a second one right there. At this stage, go ahead and place down one more block right here, and then we're going to get a foundational bit underneath this corner right here. Then place down two more floor pieces, one there and one there, with another foundational bit just under here like this. At this stage, you can fill in the rest of the gaps here with floor pieces. Then select the wall piece and go over to the corner right here. I'm going to place walls all around the perimeter of this build. Then you'll have the perimeter built like this, and at this stage, you can go to this corner over here, leave that wall piece there, and get rid of this one here and this one here. This will create a little walkthrough so you can get in between the two areas of the build. Now it's time to use the other roof angle. So this is the thatch roof 26 degrees. With that selected, go ahead and place one down here, and then one here, and a third one just there. Then rotate it round and go to this corner of the build and do the same thing. So 1, 2, and 3 connecting up in the middle. Go to the opposite corner of the build and do the same thing. So 3 on each side that will connect up. At this stage, we're going to switch back to the 45-degree roof piece, and we're going to come over to here and place one here, one on top of it, and a third one on top of that, and then do the same over on this side. So one here, and then one on top of that, and the third one will connect up these two pieces. So looking at it from the front, this is what will layer these different roof pieces where we've got the two different sizes there. And continuing with the thatch roof 45 degrees, we simply make the rest of the roof in this area just as we did before. The nice thing thing about this room is when we head inside, you'll see there are actually no foundational pieces inside it, so we can actually maximize the space that we use on the inside. We're now going to work on the front of the house, and you have different options here when it comes to staircases. You could, for example, just place stairs coming down like this if you wanted to all the way along for a very simple porch effect. However, if you'd like the same diagonal sort of staircase that I did in my build, then this is how we do it. Select the wood beam 2 meters long and have it snap to the side of the front of the porch right here. Then with your middle mouse button, scroll down 1 and 2 clicks so it comes off at this angle. Then place down a second one here. If you go to the other side and do it, we're then going to scroll up with the mouse wheel 1 and 2 clicks like this and place down a second one there. If you do this correctly, these two pieces should meet, and then you can detach them to the floor either by placing down 2 pieces that will snap on like this, or if you want a more center focus, then hold down the shift key so it doesn't snap and place one here and then a smaller one on top, just like this. Now you want to get your staircase and go ahead and place one here and then a second one on each one so it connects up to the floor. You may need to use your hoe to move the ground around a little bit so you can run smoothly up the stairs. And of course you want to go ahead and do the same over on the other side. At this stage, select the wood floor 2x2 and snap it to this corner right here, just like this. You can then use the wood floor 1x1 pieces and snap them one here, and one here, and of course do the same on the other side to complete the sort of stairway entrance to the porch. At this stage, you can get creative and do whatever you like with the stairs. I like to put these beams on as I think it makes the stairs look a little bit better. Now, what I did on my build then was I went ahead and selected the torches and scroll right into the bottom of these stairs right here, and we'll get them somewhere around there. So nice and central, connected up to this piece right here. We want to do that on all 4 sides and try to get it even. So we might need to use the hoe to change the height of the ground a little bit to achieve that. Once they're placed down, you can then select the wood pole 1 meter long and snap it to the bottom of each of these stair pieces, and then it will look like this. This gives quite a nice lighting effect to the front of the build. If you'd like to do the same on this piece right here, what you can do is get rid of that piece right there and go ahead and place the torch down. So that goes on top of this piece right here, and then you can place the wood pole 1 meter back on top. If you fiddle around with it a bit, you'll get it to snap and it will look like that. At this stage, I also selected the wood dragon adornment and added it to the top and the front of the porch, just like that. At this stage, from the inside of the build, select the wood wall 45 degrees and place one right on the top of the build, just like that, and then one snap to it on the other side, just here like this. Then you want to place pieces in this corner here so it sort of snaps and overlaps, because normally it would come down by that much, if you know what I mean, but we're going to go up to here so it snaps here just like this. So we'll place that one there just like that and rotate it around and do the same over on the other side, again making sure it snaps here and not here, so we snap it there and place it there like that. Then we can use the wood wall half like this and place that down there. This means when our door is shut, we then have a solid wall piece here like this around the front door without there being any overlapping bits. Then select the wood wall 45 degrees, and from here in the corner just place one piece down so it snaps on there like that. To make it easier to snap these pieces to the roof pieces, you may want to destroy a couple of the wooden angled beams that you placed earlier on those roof pieces. You then want to go ahead and select the wood wall 1x1 and place a piece here just like this, and select the wood wall half and place it up here like this, and this will create our little window. You can then use another wood wall 45 degree piece and snap it up on top just like that. Of course, if you want to get fancy with the windows, then select the wood beam 1x1s and place one on the top and bottom of the window and one on each side as well. We're then going to do the exact same thing on the other side. At this stage, select the wood beam 45 degrees and we're going to snap one piece on here just like this, and then snap another piece just up there so it looks like that. Then rotate it around and then snap one piece on here just like this. And the final piece is a little bit tricky because we're not able to snap it with the other one being in the way, but if we get it just right, then it should look something like this. And from the outside, you can see that creates this sort of effect just to give it a bit of style. Then select the wood wall 26 degrees and come to the inside here and snap each one to one of these roof pieces that you see along here, and then go ahead and do the same over on the other side. Then select the wood half wall and place one piece here, one here, and one over here. This leaves this gap right here, which I then like to add the beams to again for another window facing out the front. And with this one, you also have the option of splitting the window down the middle if you want to create two little windows like that. Now, once again inside the build, select the wood pole 2 meters and come to the back of the build in line with these foundational pieces you see here. So we're going to go along like this and place one piece down here and then one piece down here. So if I get rid of this wooden wall right here, you'll see this lines up with the other foundational pieces we've placed inside. At this stage, you want to go ahead and place down some of these wood beam poles on top again, just like this, and we'll do the same on the other side. So we place this one here, and if we're quick about it, we can place one there and one there without needing scaffolding. Then we can use the crosses right here and place them all the way up the inside of this. So this gives a bit of design to break up the back wall, but also allows some lighting. Now at this stage, grab the 45 degree walls and snap one to each of the roof pieces along the back, just like you see here, and the same over on this side. At this stage, you can really do whatever you like in terms of filling this in and making windows wherever you want windows to be. But if you're doing the same as me, I use wood wall here and here, followed by a half wall up on here, and then a single wall there, and put the window in the middle, and then do the exact same thing over on this side. Now back in here, we're going to select the hammer and we're going to remove these two middle wall pieces right here. If you want to build the same chimney that I built. Using my hoe, I then brought the land up to the same level as this floor over here, and then of course use the hoe to smoothen this land once that's done. We then want to use the wood ball and build around this. So we're going to build a piece here just like this, followed by 2 pieces along the back and another piece over here. At that stage, you can use the hoe again to level this area inside this sort of area we see here, and this will allow you to place down fireplaces that you can then access and that will be used for the chimney. At this stage, again, if you're in survival mode, I recommend you build a staircase to get yourself up on top of the roof. Once up here, select the wood wall, and because this roof is shallow, we can stand on it without slipping. You're then going to keep building up this little structure that we just built for the chimney until you're at the height that you want the chimney to be. At this stage, carefully jump up on top of this section right here and set the wood pole 2 meters, and then place one of these poles on each of the 4 corners. Then set the wood beam 45 degrees and place one down on any of the 4 corners just like this. Then place one down on the other side there so it connects up like that, and then set the thatch roof 45 degrees and place one on each side. So we can place one just there like that, and then snap one over here just like this. You can then select the wood beam 45 degrees once again, and from down here you can place them on the other side of the chimney just like this. So this will now look like this, and that will be plenty of space to vent the smoke from your fireplaces. Going back to the inside, the way you decorate this is of course up to you, but what I did is just place a couple of beams along here like this, then set the 1 meter wood pole, place that down, and then use the 2 meter beam poles to go across here like this, and got rid of the little pole there. This creates quite a nice funnel effect for the smoke to go up and out the chimney. I also decided to leave these bits here open to let some light in, but again, it's entirely up to you how you decorate that. Now, if you'd also like to have chimneys over on this side of the build, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to take out the roof pieces that are along this level right here. So for example, in my build, I had the bedroom in the corner and I had the fireplace in this corner here. So what I did is I took out this piece right here, and I also took out this floor piece right here. I then used the hoe to raise the ground up to the right level that I wanted it to be at, which of course allows me to place down the fireplace. At this stage, I go to the outside of the build and select the 45-degree roof piece once again, and we connect it up like this to the side here. So it then looks like that, which I think is quite a nice effect. It looks like someone's just opened up a hatch there for the fireplace, and it lets all of the smoke vent out. If you want to see me build this in my hardcore video series, click the video on screen now, and if you want more build tutorials, then please do subscribe.